Woo-wee. What is this, Fidel? Why are you playing this?
This is Mafia murder music.
It's Italian for Dante DiVincenzo.
Come on.
Dante DiVincenzo.
This is me, like in one of those old GTA video games, going through the mission.
This is Bonte last year. This is what he had on blast when he was traveling to Italy.
I did have this on. By the way, the Italians, I tell you guys, one dude on the freeway would get in Lake Como, and this guy in the big rig, somebody got in front of him.
And you were driving a Ferrari?
No, I wasn't driving anything.
Like, there's more to this story.
No. I wasn't driving at all in Europe. We were car service, buddy. We go ride safely. We don't know these roads. I don't know how these drivers act. I'm scared to drive in the Bay Area with some of the drivers out here. This guy gets out his big rig, walks on the freeway, in the middle of the freeway, and smacks somebody's window. Curses somebody out in Italian because they cut him off. It's like, what a savage. Welcome to Italy. Dante DiVincenzo. Is that how they would say it, Spadoni? DiVincenzo.
Remember the Keek the Sneak San Quinn album? Welcome to Skokeland.
Did they really say that?
Yeah. No, Skokeland.
Skokeland. All right. 888-957.
Let's have two quick conversations. The first one, and this is an overarching one that we're going to have, and this isn't just like in the moment. I think this is a larger one because there's a lot going into this. No one is slandering Draymond. We're assessing where the team is right now.
Slandering Draymond.
Well, I think that anytime you even suggest that a player's, role on the team should be adjusted even a little bit, like it all of a sudden becomes slander. That's not slander. That's just not. What we're trying to do is win the series. And if you're trying to empower the team to give them the best opportunities to win, there is an argument, and maybe it's just for this series. There is an argument that can be made, man, when you've got Jordan Poole out there starting alongside Looney, or maybe it's Draymond and Looney's the one that's getting his minutes adjusted and he's the one coming off the bench. Whatever it is, when you have the one big and one non-shooter on the floor, everything feels more impactful offensively. It creates more space. You get better looks. More guys are feeling good about themselves. Now, maybe it's a one-game aberration.
No.
But I think there is something to it. That's me. I think there's something to it.
This is something, again, when we preview this series, and I told D-Lo and KC, and I told everybody who I've talked to on the airways, the one big lineup is going to be massive because I don't know how long you can go to the two big lineup against this Sacramento team with their personnel because they play small. They have the one big as Sabonis, and you got nothing but four guys in Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Herter, Fox, or Davion Mitchell, Malik Monk. You got a lot of shooters around this one big, and even when Alex Len comes to the game, you're coming in with guys who could slash, who could score, who are threats offensively. The one thing about the big lineup yesterday with Looney or JaMychal Green, you had to honor everybody, which spaces out your defense, which creates more lanes for Jordan Poole. Look, Jordan Poole shot 4-13 yesterday, but he was able to get to the free throw line by attacking the paint, attacking the rim. How many times did Wiggins attack the rim, go to the paint? Stephen Curry attacking the paint. So, look, you got to do what you got to do to win the series. Steve Kerr, and I know they're having a conversation. Steve Kerr, Game 4 against Boston. And then in a game, you had to have.
Yeah.
You had to have it. You couldn't go down 3-1 on the parquet floor. He benched Draymond Green for a long stretch in the fourth quarter. Now, Draymond Green responded by grabbing a key offensive rebound, making some winning plays.
I'm glad you said it because you can still respond.
But as a leader, and we've seen it from Steph, we've seen it from Wiggins, we've seen it from Jordan Poole. You got to do what you got to do to win series. What is the best personnel for you to win series? Are you going to go down fighting due to pride, or are you going to play to the personnel, or are you going to play to the game flow? That's another thing. Play to the game flow.
Yeah,
who's rolling, who's not.
Well, that's the one beautiful thing about Andre Iguodala over the years. Didn't it always feel like not only was he impactful on like changing the pace and stuff, he also understood when to crank it up. You know what I'm saying? And like take it to another level. And I do believe Draymond can give you those Iguodala elements, whether it's starting, whether it's off the bench, etc. All I'm saying is that there is a conversation to be had,
right?
That whatever they did last night can be replicated. Now, I do want to see Draymond respond. But guys, we are not in the experimental phase. I understand that you are going to trot something out for a minute or two and see if it works. Like the Kings last night, they went to what's the number 3?
Terrence Davis,
who had a couple of erratic fouls. But they're looking for something, right? They're trying to get a positive spark. Now, I understand you try to do that. To me, you kind of are starting to see certain trends, and one of the trends is that the Kings are really struggling to guard Wiggins.
Well, they're really struggling to guard Wiggins, but also you look at the Kings, and they haven't shot the ball well at all this series. That's 3 straight games. They haven't shot the 3 ball well.
I would assume
27%
it'll drop.
in game 2, 27% in game 2, 23% in game number 3. Now, you look at the Kings, and I'm speak about them for a second.
Yeah.
They got a lot of open looks last night. They did. But I noticed early on, they were playing a little too fast. There's a few possessions. Malik Monk came down, just dribble. I'm going to throw something up, go to the rain. Or De'Aaron Fox pulled up for some quick threes. They were playing a little too fast. They were sped up. And I think that played to the Warriors' advantage because the Warriors said, you know what? We're going to play at a controlled pace this time. We may not run with you. We'll be selective when we run, but we're going to play some half-court basketball. And you notice the way they brought the ball up the floor for the most part. There was a lot of DiVincenzo. There's a lot of Jordan Poole. There's a lot of playing Stephen Curry off the ball, and the Warriors were able to get into their offense a lot quicker. That, to me, was the key.
Well,
the first 2 games of Sacramento, they're getting into their offense with 15, 14, 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Last night, you saw a lot more. It was a quicker. They were able to get into their sets quicker, but they were a lot more patient within their offense within the 24 seconds.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And even then, and this is, I think, the part that, I keep hearing, and, your buddy KC and our buddy KC keeps saying, well, the Kings haven't played their A game. Yeah, newsflash. In the playoffs, as the series progresses, everyone knows everyone's tendencies. Everyone understands everyone's offensive
sets. Have the Warriors
sets.
played their A game?
There's going to be clunkers, is what I'm getting at. That's how the playoffs work.
No, you're not going to just go out there and score 120 and shoot 55%.
With zero resistance.
The Warriors shot 40% yesterday.
I mean, how many great wins have the Warriors had where it's been a freaking stressful, ugly, grinded out kind of a game? There are tons of those games. So where I guess where I'm going with this one is that, yes, I do believe the Kings are going to start knocking down open shots, but there are some things personnel-wise and schematically that I think they're going to have a really tough time adjusting to, because I don't know what the adjustment is. Wiggins, athletically, Keegan cannot stay in front of him. Now, he was on Clay a lot, and Clay's dribbling a little too much, and we'll get to him. But Keegan ain't doing much, and if you're going to play Harrison Barnes out there and he's guarding Wiggins, they're running a switch where they're running a screen, and then Wiggins is getting whoever he wants on the block, and he's attacking that guy on the block, or he's getting the bigger guy out on the wing and either shooting over them, driving by them. Wiggins right now, to me, is another X factor on offense.
Well, he's been phenomenal in this series. He's been phenomenal. Considering he hadn't played against us February 13th. You drop him in, and boom, all of a sudden he's balling again. So the winning plays, and we're going to get to the calls. I see all the calls out here. We'll get you in just a second because I want to hear from everybody today. You smoking that Kings pack? What's the key to Game 4? What's your big takeaway from Game number 3? We'll be back on Monday to break down Game 4, or recap Game 4, I should say. But the winning plays, again, I highlighted these all week long, and you're probably tired of me saying it. But the Kings were plus 27 when it came to points off turnovers. Last night, the Warriors were plus 15 when it came to points off turnovers. Those are winning plays that you got to have in the playoffs. If you want to win playoff games, you got to win these certain categories. Points off turnovers, Warriors 22, Kings 7. So you're plus 15. You're able to flip that at least for a game. Points in the paint, Kings came in at plus 30. Last night, Warriors were able to stabilize and keep the Kings at the paint. The Kings missed a lot of layups, but it was because of the contesting of the Golden State Warriors. Getting vertical with the Sabonis. Warriors win that category 40-38. Second chance points. Going into Game 3, Kings were plus 14. Well, last night, Warriors plus 12 when it came to second chance points, 24-12. And lastly here, the Warriors, of course, led by 23, but on the offensive glass. The Kings were dominating on the offensive glass, plus 11. Last night, the Warriors were able to flip that. They were plus 5, 18-13. So the hustle plays, the hustle points that I like to look at in the playoffs, I always factor those in because Mike Snow, Raider Debater, came in yesterday talking about Jordan Poole's plus minus. It ain't about that. These are team plus minus, a team stat.
I would say that Jordan Poole, there were times where he looked lost defensively, but then there are other times where he's coming in and crashing for rebounds and getting active and double teaming properly.
He played well.
I thought
well.
Jordan Poole's effort was so much better, and then DiVincenzo's hustle plays were outstanding. I mean, his ability to leap and bat the ball up, and Wiggins, obviously, I keep going back to Wiggins because when he's going to the rim, I mean, they really don't have an answer for him going to the rim.
No doubt.
What guy on their team is their best athlete?
I don't know. They better figure something out. What's their counter? What is their counter? Somebody asked me a question. 707 Comcast Business Text Line. How did DiVincenzo get so effective compared to games 1 and 2? Well, I think GP2 not being there, DiVincenzo felt like, okay, I know I'm going to get my minutes. An NBA player plays so much better when they know their role and they know when they're going to get consistent minutes. Not everybody could play 20 minutes one game and then go back down to 8. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I played well for 20 minutes. Now all of a sudden I'm getting 8 minutes. Or if I'm struggling for 15, all of a sudden I'm going to get 30 seconds in a second. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
So the GP2 factor of him not being there, I think it helped DiVincenzo mentally knowing that I'm going to get my minutes. I'm going to have an opportunity to fly around the court and play freely without having to look over my shoulder knowing that GP2's at the scorer's table.
Don't you also think some of the personnel that they had out there created more spacing? It felt like he had more room to dribble.
Well, they had a lot of one big lineups.
Well, and like when Moody was out there with him and Kuminga was out there, like Kuminga was drawing guys out and Kuminga almost took down the house. I know he smoked both free throws. That dunk attempt.
Oh, dude, I went crazy. I saw that. I was like, oh, my God.
But that's why he's out there. And then Moody hitting a couple of threes early that forced them out on him. You saw him time and time again take a hard dribble in. Even Clay took a mid-range. I was like, thank you, Clay. Take the dribble in and take the mid-range.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I thought they settled for way too many threes in the first half.
What was frustrating in the first quarter? They attempted 18 threes in the first quarter alone. They were in the bonus with 6 minutes left in that quarter.
They
stopped attacking the rim. I was like, did the Warriors forget they were in the bonus? You're shooting free throws.
They get three ball happy.
They do get three ball happy. All right.